Now that Tom Tolbert's no longer with KNBR, I want to share some memories from the past when KNBR mattered, when KNBR was relevant, when KNBR actually was the sports leader. So if you appreciate Bay Area Sports Radio, if you have fond memories of what it was, as I do, I think you will enjoy this episode here. They used to have Team KNBR memberships. And as a part of Team KNBR, you would receive an actual card as a Team KNBR member. And then you'd receive the official publication of Team KNBR. It was The Sports Reader. And I found 4 issues that I want to share. The first one is Winter 2000, issue number 23, The House That Ralph Built. The House That Ralph Built. He's there at Pacific Bell Park, or shortened to Pac Bell Park, which was the best name the ballpark ever had. There was SBC, AT&T, Oracle Park. My favorite was always Pac Bell Park. Ralph Barbieri with his orange Giants hard hat. And I'm just going to go through the highlights of each of these 4 issues. I'm sorry I couldn't find more. Here's the first one. And this is Winter 2000, issue number 23. Page 1, West by Northeast. Tony Bruno takes on the West Coast attitude. Tony Bruno brings an East Coast flavor to his insightful opinions. And then below that, All-Star Week coming to the Oakland Arena. Wow. NBA All-Star 2000. From intern to big time, the Dennis Higgins story. Dennis Higgins will be part of Giants broadcasts in the coming year. Team KNBR members save 10% on spring training trips. I mean, it's a very heavy Giants publication. I mean, shock with KNBR, but even for KNBR. Join us February 26th for the KNBR Giants warm-up show, your first chance to buy individual Giants tickets. Who's the cool dude in the shades? And then there's a picture of Dusty Baker in the middle. And on each side of him is JT Snow and Ellis Burks. And these are very short issues, thin issues. And then as this issue wraps up, I have a picture of a young Larry Krueger with all dark hair. Sports collectors unite at KNBR 680. And then the sports leader remembers Gary Ratnich, Kevin the Rat, Bob Fitzgerald, Rod Brooks, Ralph Barbieri, Tom Tolbert share their memories. And then the final page, Kevin the Rat and Gary Ratnich visited the new ballpark recently and posed on the right field brick wall with the Giants scoreboard in the background. The Rat then could not resist the temptation to throw the first ball into the bay. And then, from the cover photo, the house that Ralph built. It is no secret that one of the biggest supporters of a new ballpark for the San Francisco Giants has been Ralph Barbieri. The Razor took up the battle in 1982, starting with the KNBR Pass the Buck relay when he invited fans to pass the buck, just as the city fathers and mothers had been doing. Fans passed an oversized dollar bill around Embarcadero Center, and the $23,000 we raised was turned over to the Board of Supervisors to start a campaign for a new ballpark. The board was not ready to commit and return the check to us, and it was eventually used to fund a feasibility study on the wind around China Basin. And it goes on. I mean, it's only about a paragraph or so. Before we finish this issue, remember, I almost missed this, that at the top of this, it says KNBR 68. When I began listening, it was known as KNBR 68. It was not known as KNBR 680. So this must have been around the time that they went to KNBR 680 instead of 68. Okay, issue 2 of the Sports Reader, Fall 2000, issue 26. I'm missing a couple of issues here. Gary's Got It. Yeah, that's right. Gary's Got It. Back when KNBR loved Gary. A smiling Gary Ratnich there. First article is by Glenn Dickey. Glenn Dickey. And then here's the featured article. Ratnich rules. I'll repeat that. Ratnich rules. Were you to take a poll on the most recognized sports figure in the Bay Area, 9 out of 10 would name Gary Ratnich. In the words of the latest KNBR 680 ad campaign from Mr. R, Gary's got it. He's the man, and his morning show on The Sports Leader has become a sounding board for the famous and not so famous. Bill Walsh has even been known to pull off the side of the road to call and vent, most recently about Bobby Knight calling him a monster, so consumed with himself that he's living in a world you and I will hopefully never come in contact with. There's no question that Gary is most comfortable opening the phone lines to do what he does best. Kibitzing with his listeners, engaging public opinion on such topics as XFL football at Pacific Bellpark and the latest realism show on television, Bosses Who Are Bullies, even music award shows, and Who Wore What. It's hard to believe his marathon man has been working at KNBR for 8 years, 6 of them midday and 2 in the early AM. Ah, the skeptics. Gary can't work in the morning and do his nighttime television too. No one can work like that. He won't last. 2 years later, the skeptics have thrown in the towel. Gary can. And that's about it for this issue. Issue number 3 that I have, Spring 2001. Issue number 27, Cruising the Cove with Ralph. Tom's got that early 2000s hair going. From the cover photo, the Razor and Mr. T say ahoy to the bell. Everyone talks about McCovey Cove. The Razor and Mr. T decide to give it a visit. So Ralph and Tom got a fish-eye view of Pacific Bell Park. Jeff Kent, new sports leader on The Sports Leader. He's the most valuable player in the National League and is the newest MVP on KNBR. Jeff Kent has earned his own show on The Sports Leader, a freewheeling and we hope hard-hitting look at baseball this season. This is the man who always says he has a plan, so anticipation is high that Kent will speak his mind on the game, the teams, and even the media. The Jeff Kent Show will be heard Fridays at 5 p.m. during the Razor and Mr. T. Check the KNBR website for alternate times if we're airing Giants baseball. Then Brian Sabian returns to KNBR with the Razor and Mr. T, goes one-on-one for The Sports Leader. The Brian Sabian Show returns to KNBR 5 p.m. Thursdays with the Razor and Mr. T, The Sports Reader. And this issue ends with Rod Brooks bangs the drums loudly at home and on KNBR. If you live anywhere near Rod Brooks, you would know it. Since he took up the drums, the neighbors complain, but he continues to bang the drums. Not slowly, we might add. Maybe the musical bent makes it easier for him to play musical chairs on the air, moving effortlessly from one time slot to another, a learning experience for the tall drink of water. The 6'7" Brooks towers well above the rest of the KNBR staff. Well, other than Tom Tolbert. And then the final page here, I see pictures of Rod Brooks with Dwayne Kuiper. There's a picture of Bob Fitzgerald with Lon Simmons, and I also see Vita Blue in there. And there's also a mention of Sean Dunston, but I don't see Sean Dunston. K&K combo racks up Ks on KNBR. Mike Krukow and Dwayne Kuiper keep it together for another season on KNBR with their own show before every Giants broadcast. The two will wing it for 5 minutes prior to every Giants broadcast, in addition to sharing play-by-play assignments on the sports leader. In addition, Kruk plays ball with Gary Ratnich in the morning show at 7:25 every Monday through Friday during the Giants season. And the last issue I have, fall 2001, issue number 28. Kruk's da Man. Mike Krukow. And then first page, NFL on KNBR, the voice of 49ers fans. Former 49ers CBS broadcaster Randy Cross, 49ers Pro Bowl quarterback Jeff Garcia, returning 49er defensive tackle Dana Stubblefield, and Raiders outstanding cornerback Eric Allen offer their insights on the Bay Area teams and beyond. Man, talk about heavy on advertisements. Wow. FanFest 2001 for the Giants. Summer FanFest 2001. Barry mentors take the stage. The two guys who know Barry Bonds best take the FanFest stage with Paulie Mack and Larry Krueger. Here the two chat with Dave Stevens, Barry's baseball coach at Sarah High in San Mateo, and Jim Leland, who managed him at Pittsburgh. Wow, Larry Krueger and Paulie Mack. This is in 2001, and Larry is back with KNBR now, again, doing 49ers coverage. I mean, how many times can the man be with KNBR and then get cut or fired? And I love Krueger, too. I think Krueger's one of the best. Now, the featured article, Conserve Energy, not Mike Krukow. Imagine if Mike Krukow's energy and passion for the Giants could be bottled. Governor Gray Davis, oh man, Governor Gray Davis could say goodbye to the power conglomerates. Kruk has two personas, hyper and super hyper. He has two loyalties, the Giants and the Giants. Well, we'll throw in his wife Jennifer and the 5 kids, and maybe Kipe, his broadcast buddy. When he joins Gary Ratnich, Rod Brooks, and Chris Townsend on the KNBR morning show, the energy level goes up 30 volts. When he gets excited about something, he says awesome. Nobody says awesome like Kruk. Those who have known him over the years say that is the same way he pitched as a Giant. He was the team's emotional guru. His pitching career spanned 3 teams, the Cubs, the Phillies, are the other 2, but the Giants are the team with which he lives and dies. No wonder, then, that his teammates twice voted him the Willie Mack Award for the most inspirational player. And I finish with this. Steve Young sits in for Tom, and everyone calls. A relaxed Steve Young sat in with Ralph recently, and it was a 49ers love fest. First came Bill Walsh to recall when he first saw Steve play in college and decide he was the man. Next, Jerry Rice reminisced with Steve, only to be outdone by Niners coach Steve Mariucci on another phone. No wonder we're the sports leader.